fans of all sports, really. What's going on, y'all? It's your boys, the tag team champions of IE Sports Radio, the host of the IE Wrestling Show. This is now your direct feed for all that is pop culture in professional wrestling on the only network that's your direct feed for all the sports, IE Sports Radio. We're trying to broaden our audience. We're trying to get people here. What's good? Into the boys. We are, I consider ourselves the new London boys. You know, Mr. Bob, my brother. The Savage, the Crescent City Savage himself. T5 in the house back right here live. It's your boy, the SoCal Saint. See, we all about that. We about that. We standing on business today. It's going to be a jam-packed show. We're going to try to get to everything we need to talk about. And real quick, I got to give a shout-out to that NXT crowd last week, or this past Tuesday, because, man, that chant that was going on online was so damn funny. Swerve, we coming for you. Swerve, we coming for you. Swerve, we coming for you. That was so damn funny. More on that later. Oh, man. T5, welcome back to the show, brother. It's been a little while. I know I was out for a couple weeks, but I'm back on the grind, and I'm glad you're back with me. I seen in my absence you got things back up and running with the Crescent City connection, so
yes, sir.
Glad to see that for you. How's things going with that, man?
Man, it's back. I got back on my feet and everything. I had to duck off last week because I had some furniture coming in, and it was well needed. So
I got you.
I had to take last Saturday off, but you know we've been consecutively back, and we've been back on it, talking LSU stuff. You know, the Saints off season, man, it's heating up, man. A lot of stuffy stuff. I'm waiting for this draft at the end of the month, man. It's gonna be interesting. So, you know, we back on it. Got down it. The dark spectrum, whatever their name is, they ain't catch me lagging in the NXT parking lot like they caught everybody else. You ain't gonna catch me lagging like that.
It's the dark spectrum.
Dark state, my bad. Dark state. Take the mask off, brother. Take the monkey up. You embarrassing us. Shout out, man. Oh, snap. But yeah, bro. Wrestling's been very interesting lately.
Yes, it has.
And that's good for us.
It is. It gives us a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about.
Man. But before we get into it, I want to give a quick shout out to those in the chat real quick. We got Tan Rodriguez, host of the SoCal Supreme Sports Show. And, oh, God, I'm just drawing a blank on the other show. Why am I doing that? No. Why am I doing that on this?
He does a lot. I just say he does
so
a
much
lot.
For us here.
I'll give him his flowers. He does.
Oh, set point. It just dawned on me. Sorry. I had to twirl my beard a little bit to get the juices flowing in the brain. He said, good afternoon to Martine and T5. Damn, government names, bro. Have a great show. Yeet. I love that. Yeet. And our boy, host of the Yinza Report, Ralph Khalees, is in the chat. What's good, Ralph?
Oh, Ralph!
Like Ralph got it. Good afternoon, SoCal Saints and T5. That's right. And boom, he's like, can I get a yeet for our soon-to-be our new champion? Yeet! Oh,
yeet.
Man. I would say,
Yeet City.
I talked about it last week. I'm sure you got your own opinions about it, but the segment with Jimmy, Jay, and Gunther definitely drove my interest way up, turned it up from like a 3 to a 10 at this point, because, man, they needed that segment. They needed that. They needed a season of that feud.
I knew it was going to happen when Jimmy went up to Gunther, and we had the slap her around the world.
Whoa, man, he slapped
about to be some Rocky Apollo type stuff. I'm here for it.
Bro, he slapped him so crazy hard.
Woo! I said, Gunther gonna kill you, boy.
Gunther, he did more than kill him, bro.
It played out exactly how I thought. He zip tied Jay to the ropes, and I'm sitting there like, bro, that's it for the feelings, bro. That's it for the feelings. And he came back this week with the promo, and you thinking, oh, it's gonna be on site, right? It's gonna be on site. Nope. That man was pacing. No yeet. No extra long entrance. Straight to the ring with it.
Yep.
Man said, man, I had to tell my mom. I had to explain to my mama what happened to her son. Why I could? And I'm like, bro, don't your mama watch the product? You was zip tied to the rope.
Maybe not. Maybe she can't watch her boys because she don't know what's gonna happen, which is understandable. My mama was like that. God rest her soul. She was very nervous about a lot of things that I got into. She couldn't, So I understand that.
I can see that. So she just know he got beat up. So all right, I'll accept that.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair assessment.
That's fair. I can see that one. But yeah, bro, that promo was it, bro. Gunther ain't say nothing. Gunther was like, maybe I messed up.
Right.
He said, maybe I messed up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, bro. He said, man, God. He said, I had to ask God to forgive me for the dude I'm about to become. I was like, whoo.
Oh, that's gonna be that's almost like oh man, that kind of almost takes me back. It's not the same thing, but every time I hear something like that or something similar, it always brings me back to this really old promo from 2001 with The Undertaker and a freshly heel Stone Cold Steve Austin after WrestleMania 17. And Undertaker was like in the midst of his American Badass run, right? And he tells Austin, to me, I thought this is one of the coldest lines at that time because there's been better lines since then. But, it was before their title match at Judgment Day of that year. I think it was Judgment Day, if I'm not mistaken, in May of that year. And he goes, "You need to take your ass to church on Sunday and give your soul to the Lord because your ass belongs to me."
I remember that now that you said it like that, bro. I remember that, bro. Because Taker, American Badass Taker, was dropping some dimes, bro.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, man. Well, Dan, before we get more into it, I know we're eager to talk about everything. Let's give a quick little bit of time to our official sponsors. Let them do their thing. Show them that we keeping the lights on. They're keeping the lights on for us, so we got to show them some love. You're going to hear right now from our Planet Jerky, from Vital Apparel, from Mrs. Larry B. Cecilia
Larry B.
Seal the Deal Wax Seal. Shout out to Larry B, of course.
Cecilia B.
And, of course, we still don't have a drop yet. Hopefully we'll get that soon. But, of course, shout out to Raw Nutrition Supplements. Go to getrawnutrition.com. Use the promo code IESR for 10% off on your entire purchase. If you're looking for some workout stuff, like pre-workout, all that good stuff. Creatine.
Protein shakes, brother.
Protein shakes. You're trying to get that muscle milk. You're trying to beefcake. You're trying to get
American males.
You're trying to get super buff. You're trying to be like Cartman, who's trying to get. I'm trying to get all buffed up, man. Go to getrawnutrition.com. Use that promo code IESR for 10% off on your entire purchase. Okay. Right now, we're going to take a quick little break. Let the sponsors tell you what they need to tell you, and then we'll come right back here. And we're going to roll into our newest segment that I talked about last week because T5 is now back. I didn't want to do this without him. We're going to introduce our little pop culture minute, that we're going to start dedicating hopefully every episode with especially with the summer movie season coming up. We're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about.
We're going to do like the internet, just start making stuff up.
Yeah, exactly. Being nerds ourselves, we got a lot to talk about, and pop culture and wrestling all kind of seems to go hand in hand. Me and T5 were kind of chatting it up yesterday, and he had a really good point. It's like we all kind of seem to float in the same circles. You know what I'm saying? So it seems kind of a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
So we'll be right back in just a moment, y'all. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a moment. We'll be right back with the IE Wrestling Show. Stay tuned.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Yo, what's good, y'all? We are back live right here on the IE Wrestling Show, your direct feed for all that is pro wrestling and pop culture. On the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. Shout out to all the sponsors that we have here that keep the lights on for us, keep us working hard here at IE Sports Radio. Planet Jerky, of course, the only jerky that's on a whole other planet. Vital Apparel, who donates a portion of all their proceeds to mental health research, which is hats off to them. Seal the Deal Wax Seals, the project and brainchild of Mrs. Larry B herself, Cecilia B. And yeah, I mean, we are, like you see scrolling down below, IE Sports Radio, we are available on multiple platforms. Right now, we are streaming live on not just X, aka Twitter, the official IE Sports Radio X page, the official IE Sports Radio YouTube page. We are also on Twitch, y'all. We are streaming on Twitch. I actually had a nice little interaction with one of our Twitch viewers last week, which was cool. So any questions y'all have throughout the show, please do not hesitate to ask me and the Crescent City Savage while we're live on the air, because we would love to, have some interaction with y'all. It would be so cool. You know what I mean? We enjoy that. And I wanted to give a quick little shout out to my boy T5. Please follow him on Who Is T Fizzle. That is his personal page on X, and follow him also on his official show page, the Crescent City Connection. It is Crescent City _IE, where he talks everything Louisiana sports, y'all. So please give him a like, share, subscribe, follow, do all that for New Orleans, man, for Nolans, baby. And please follow the show page, which is controlled by moi, on these multiple platforms. Follow us on IE Wrestling Show at X, on TikTok, and on Blue Sky. We're trying to get some traction going on all those platforms. So, yeah, do the damn thing. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And please, if you can, for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, hit that Supporters Club on Spreaker.com. You see that scrolling down below? Check it out, guys. Go to www.spreaker.com, which is one of our podcast platforms that hosts the show, /podcast, /the-IE-wrestling-show, /support. And if you can, I know times are tough right now. Trust me, I know. But if you can, for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, that's $5 a month, not like a week, a day. It's just $5 a month. It put some funds back into the show so we can do some more stuff for y'all. Maybe we can do some extra shows maybe we can do a poll of what kind of topic y'all want us to focus on a show. Maybe we can talk about our love for anime and maybe talk about what our favorite animes were, some of our favorite superhero films growing up, things like that. Like we're trying to expand the broader audience, exactly. We're trying to expand, the SpongeBob meme, expand. We're trying to do the damn thing, y'all. So, we got some love in the chat room here. Ralph had asked a question earlier. Sorry, Ralph, I didn't mean to take too long to answer your question. Do you guys think Dominic Mysterio will get a big push and become champion soon? I'm assuming it's about the WrestleMania match that was announced this past Monday night on Raw. Fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental title, which I'm totally in for. I think that's going to be a hit-ass match, man. I think that's going to be a sleeper hit. Braun Breaker defending the title against Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. That would be crazy to see Dom walk out with the title.
There is a world where I can see Dominic Mysterio sneaking a win and leaving WrestleMania as Intercontinental Champion.
That is true. Yes, I do.
Especially the way the last couple of weeks have been going with the interaction between him, Liv, and Finn. I could see that, and then he wins the title, and Finn is still like, "You did this all along. This was your plan all along. I know I couldn't trust you. I knew I couldn't trust you."
Oh, I know, right? It could be some crazy stuff like that. I could see that happening. Let's see here. We got another new name here in the chat room. I'm trying to look for something that they mentioned, just so I can talk about it. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, so Russell Lulz. Am I saying that right? I do apologize if I'm saying that wrong. Russell Lulz is in the chat room saying, "What's up?" Thank you. Oh, whoop whoop. Yeah. Hey, I think there's a juggalo in the house. Whoop whoop. Oh, that's what's up, man. Any your thoughts on the match announcements for tonight's JCW Lunacy? That's going to be Juggalo Championship Wrestling for all you guys, or is it championship or championship? Because I remember that's what it used to be. I don't know if they ever changed it. Okay, so he's got the matches. I was trying to look up the match card for tonight. I guess this is a program that actually streams on Psychopathic Records.
They still beefing with GCW?
Yeah, man, they still going strong. So that's what's up, man. Shout out to the ICP. Whoop whoop. Violent J, Shaggy 2 Dope. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Ricky Morton will be taking on his son Kerry. Oh, and there will also be a match to decide the JCW Tag Team Champions between the Backseat Boys. I like that, and the Brothers of Funstruction. Oh man, I remember years ago. This was I was like middle school. And they came out with their God, I forgot the name of that damn tape where it was Violent J and Shaggy basically doing commentary, like dubbing themselves over Japanese wrestling matches. And they called him Cactus Sack, and it was Mick Foley as Cactus Jack and Terry Flunk or something like that. You know, it was funny. I had a good time. Watching those old tapes, man. Yeah, Stranglemania. That's what it. Thank you, WrestleLet. Stranglemania. That's what it was called. Oh man, that man. I wish they still did that, but I think they got sued or something for that. So I guess I can't do that shit anymore.
Yeah, I can see that.
But man, I always wanted to get me one of them JCW hockey jerseys that I used to see Scott Hall rocking back.
Yeah,
in the day. Yeah, the black and white ones that almost look like NWO style. I used to.
Yeah.
Man, I got to look up where I could purchase one of those because man, I want one of those still to this day. Man, I think that I can't believe Ricky Morton is still wrestling. Ricky Morton is old, dog.
Yeah, bro. I remember he. I forgot. Was it an AEW or was it somewhere else? He popped off a Canadian Destroyer. I'm like, oh.
I think that was AEW. He did that.
I was like,
or maybe it was an NWA show. I can't remember.
It might have been NWA. I forgot where it was, man. He popped off in a Destroyer. I'm like, bro, how old is you, bro?
Bro, I know they're so old. I mean,
they still got the little shag mullet, bro.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, I hope that's a wig. I wonder if that's a wig or if that's his natural hair.
Oh, man, that's natural, bro. That's natural.
He's like the living embodiment. If Joe Dirt was a professional wrestler, it's Ricky Morton.
That's like if Joe Dirt was a grandpa or great grandpa.
Right. Life's a garden, baby. Dig it. Oh
Joe
man,
Dirt, not Joe Dirte.
I'll have to look that up. So WrestleLess says that you can actually find Stranglemania on YouTube. So I know what I'll be watching later. Oh man,
I'm intrigued now. I'm over there.
I have been seeing a lot more JCW, stuff online. I think, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that the Kane parody, the cocaine, the white one? I think that was a JCW video, if I'm not mistaken. Whenever he got his little Popeye power up from the bag of cocaine.
Wow, you gotta be kidding me!
Yeah, yeah. He put it in his face, and then the commentators, "Oh my God, he's got the cocaine, and cocaine's going crazy!" And he hits a choke slam and wins the match. Oh man, there's so many parodies of Kane now. Blue, it used to be Blue Kane, but then he got a cease and desist letter, so he changed his name to Blue Pain. And then there's Gain, which is the gay version of Kane, I guess, where his suit is all rainbow colors.
Wild.
And then so he'll do his little shtick where he does the fire, but then he hits a pose right after. And then you got Cocaine, of course, and I think there's another one I can't remember, but those are the top three I remember: is Cocaine, Blue Pain, and Gain.
I know. I just recently seen I think last week they had a video that went viral. I think at a JCW show, I think it was, and it was them beefing with Game Changer Wrestling, GCW.
Yeah.
And then it went from the stage. It went from the stage to the outside, and they was beat like they was out here swinging and stuff, and I was like, bruh, all right, I'm here for that.
Right. I'm here for that too, man.
You know, GCW usually got something popping off Mania weekend, so
yeah, I actually have that. Right, I have that. I actually have that saved over here on for our stuff to talk about when we hit the wrestling news. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on the match card that's been announced for the GCW WrestleMania weekend show. So more on that here in a little bit. We'll get to that here in a few. But real quick before we jump into our first ever Saintly Savage pop culture minute, I just wanted to see you're seeing down below. I got us a little. I was able to obtain a brand ambassadorship for the show to try and put back money into iSports Radio, into the show, with mydailybloom.com. Mydailybloom.com, I talked about this last week on the show. It's a website dedicated to autism awareness. It was created by a BCBA. For those who don't know, if you don't have anybody in your family that's on the spectrum, or children, family, whatever, BCBAs are very, very important, very crucial people in a young autistic child's life. They help them develop skills to basically take care of themselves as they grow older, and that's what my son, he goes to an ABA therapy facility, and that's what they do. They specialize in ABA therapy for autism. And this woman created this website. It sells merchandise, T-shirts, sweaters, pants, cups, mugs, things like that. But also, there's a great library of books for children, autism-centric books for children that you can read to your children. They can read themselves, and some actual educational materials for parents and family members of autism, family members, to learn more and to broaden their knowledge of autism, which I love. So it's like a broad range of products you can purchase from this website. If you go to the link that I have scrolling down below, which I would love and appreciate y'all. I'm not asking y'all. I'm not trying. You got to do this, but it is the month of April, which is known as Autism Awareness Month. Go to mydailybloom.com/pages/my-shop and use the promo code IESWA, which stands for IE Wrestling Show for Autism, and you get 15% off your entire purchase at checkout. So it'll help us. It'll bring awareness to autism, and it helps the show out. So it's like a win-win both ways. And as an autism father myself, I would greatly appreciate y'all if you just take a minute to check out the link down below. The link is also in the header of my X page and TikTok page as well. So there's multiple ways you can check it out there. So please check it out, y'all. If you got a second, I would love it. I'm not begging. I'm not asking y'all to buy anything. Just check it out, and just spread the word. I would appreciate that if you could do just that for me. Share the link, at least.
Most definitely. I'm going to go ahead and peep that out after the show. Educate myself. You know what I'm saying? Support and educate. You know what I'm saying? I always like to keep up, especially when it's something important to the homies or the fam. I like to love the support. So I'm going to go ahead on and give that. Y'all do the same thing, man. Y'all educate yourself. Even if y'all don't have anybody on the spectrum, or y'all related to anybody, or y'all don't know nobody that has an autistic child or whatnot, man, go educate yourself, man. Peep that out, support, give it a look-see, man.
I really appreciate that. If y'all could do that for me and the show here, we would definitely appreciate that. So thank you, T5, for your kind words there. I love that, man. And hey, shout out to Taryn, man. I love this, man. He said, "Oh, that's awesome. I never really admit this to anyone, but I'm autistic too." Wow. Thank you, Taryn, for sharing that. I love it.
Yeah, bro.
Thank you, man. That means a lot to me for you to say something like that here in the chat. And I appreciate that, man. Salute to you, my good sir. Salute to you, man. I really appreciate that, man. Like autism is a wide spectrum. There's kids and teens, adults that are they're highly functioning, they're on the higher functioning side, and then there's a lower functioning side, but they're all within the same spectrum. There's different, that's why they call it a spectrum, because it's ever changing. There's different levels to it. My cousin, she's a higher functioning member of the autism community. She's about to graduate high school and go off to college. She's actually going to oh God, I can't remember the college, but it's out in Oklahoma, and she's studying to be a forensic. She wants to be a CSI basically, and
Ooh, fire.
it's one of the top schools that has a forensic program there. It's actually named after one of the heads of the FBI. Apparently, I can't remember the name though, but yeah, she's looking really forward to it. And my nephew is also on the spectrum. Like I've said a bunch of times here, my nephew and my son are almost. I mean, they're fairly similar. They're both nonverbal, but they're starting to. Man, since they've both been in ABA, it's been a huge night and day, man, night and day. Thing, man. My son has had great strides in just a year of being in the facility that he's at now, going there every day. Like, we took him out of public school where he was in a special needs program, which I will admit did a lot for him. But this year that he's been in this ABA program has been amazing. So shout out to Lighthouse Therapy in Fort Worth, Texas. You guys are doing the Lord's work, and I love each and every one of y'all. You'll do so much for my son. Just wanted to share a little bit of a personal gratitude here on the show. I know I try not to get too personal every time I'm on the show, but it goes without saying, especially with the month of Autism Awareness Month that we're in right now. I think I have to give a little bit of love. So if you're in the Fort Worth area, you got a child on the spectrum, you're looking for a great facility to take care of your child, to help your child and in their growth and everything like that, check out Lighthouse Therapy. I promise you will not be disappointed.
Man, that's good to hear, man.
Yeah, thank you. Well, man, let's jump right into it. Let's get to talking about some. Boom! I wish I had like a cool little song to go with it. Savage Pop Culture Minute. That's right. That is right. Man. So this is a new segment I wanted to introduce. Like I stated, I feel like pop culture and pro wrestling kind of go hand in hand, especially with the integrating of celebrities over the last few years into wrestling. Bad Bunny, Logan Paul, Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes famously were on an episode of AEW Dynamite whenever it first launched back in the day. They got celebrities in the crowd now. Macaulay Culkin's been in the crowd of Monday Night Raws recently. Kieran Culkin, his little brother as well. It's Bert Kreischer was just in the crowd on Monday Night Raw this past Monday. So, I mean, it's like pop culture and wrestling always seem to sync together. I mean, going all the way back to the golden era of professional wrestling, which is, the 80s. For some reason, that's the dub name for the 80s, now the golden era. You have famously had the rock and wrestling connection, between Cyndi Lauper and Alice Cooper and Ozzy Osbourne with the wrestlers of yesteryear, Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff, he who should not be named. Racist Voldemort.
No way, brother.
It's not going to work for me, brother.
That don't work for me, brother.
Anyway, but man, so let's just jump right in. So I want to talk to you about this T5 because I know you're a big comic book fan like myself, big nerd just like myself, but I have to ask because I know I haven't talked to you about it yet. Dude, the Avengers Doomsday casting. What do you think about it, man? Like, it blew my mind, man, when I saw that the way they did it with the chairs,
the chairs, bro.
And that was insane, man. Like, all the names that came up.
Some of the names I kind of figured like, okay, yeah, that's par for the course. I figured they'd be in it. I see. What?
Yeah.
Huh?
I was shocked.
Bruh, they got me, bruh. They got me with a couple of them names. Like we seen Beast in the end credits of
Marvels.
The Marvels. So we was like, okay, we seen Kelsey Grammer as Beast already. So you know,
and he's coming back. So that's great.
Patrick Stewart and
Ian McKellen back. Sir Ian McKellen and Sir
Strange.
Stewart. Oh man,
multiverse of madness.
Back for the multiverse of madness and he was in the classic floating yellow chair from X-Men '97, which was sweet. I wonder if he's gonna make a return in the Avengers Doomsday, or if he'll be in the classic X-Men
rolling chair, yeah,
from the Fox movie.
Man, seeing his name up in there, I was like, word.
Right.
Then we saw Ian McKellen. I was like,
Ian McKellen back as Magneto. Hell yes. I'm all for it.
But then they got me with the Channing Tatums.
Oh man, thank you. I'm so glad Channing Tatum is back as everyone's favorite Cajun. That's right, Remy Lobo, Gambit. But you can
I'm
call
about to make a name for myself, y'all.
Yeah, you can call me the Gambit. I am so ready. Gambit is one of my favorite characters of all time, and I thought Channing Tatum knocked it out of the park in Deadpool and Wolverine. So I'm excited that he's getting another opportunity to play Gambit. Hopefully, this isn't a one, I guess not a one and done. Bro.
Not if you in this thing, you in this thing, bro.
That's right. Hopefully he's back for multiple future. Hopefully we'll see him more. But I'm glad that he's coming back so soon.
Get their own joint.
I didn't think he was coming back so soon though, so that was really
Me neither.
Let's see who else has been announced. These two shocked me. Actually three. Rebecca Romaine is coming back as Mystique.
Yeah, Mystique.
And she hasn't been seen in the role in The Last Stand all the way back in 2006.
Word.
And then even longer than that.
All the way back.
even longer than that. Alan Cumming is back as
Nightcrawler.
And he hasn't been seen since X2.
Yep.
And that was, what, 2003? Holy crap.
They reached all the way back for you.
But I loved his interpretation of Nightcrawler. I loved the way they did the design, like, those little marks all over his body. I love that. Like, and they're going to do it justice. We're finally going to get the actual BAMF sound whenever he's, yeah, we're going to get all that. And coming back for the first time. That's right. Since Days of Future Past, James Marsden is back as Scott Summers' Cyclops. And if Kevin Feige can get Wolverine, Hugh Jackman in that yellow suit, we're going to get the blue tights for Cyclops. He just has to. He has to. He's going to get and they're going to give us some fan service to me, my X-Men. Oh, man. I can't wait to hear him say that.
I'm not ready for this.
It's going to be the Avengers Assemble moment from Endgame when he says that. To me, my X-Men.
But they had me at Dr. Doom.
Right.
When you put Dr. Doom on the table, I was like, anybody that knows, okay, if you know the comics, if you know the cartoons, you know Dr. Doom be cooking.
That's right.
You know this boy be cooking. He always on something. So when you tell me Dr. Doom is on the table, that was a wrap. That's all I needed in life.
Exactly.
That's all I needed. But then you're going to give me this rollout?
I'm with you, bro. I'm ready. I
can't do this. I can't. I can't mess with you, Kevin Feige. I can't mess with you like this.
Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. And not only that, I know a lot of people are kind of upset about certain casting announcements because they think it spoils the next film. Speaking of which will be the Thunderbolts coming out next month, which I'm totally psyched for. Saw Cinemark. I don't know what theater chain y'all got out there. Cinemark is pretty nationwide, but Cinemark just announced they just showed their popcorn bucket for the launch of Thunderbolts. It's a Thunderbolts bucket, but the lid is Red Guardian's helmet.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a giant helmet. I wonder if it's like wearable because I don't know if it'll fit my fat ass.
Walk around with a popcorn bucket on your head.
Right. But so the Thunderbolts cast has been announced with Yelena. Yelena's coming back, aka Florence Pugh. Wyatt Russell's back as a U.S. agent. David Harbour's back as Red Guardian. Hannah John Kamen is back as Ghost. And Lewis Pullman. Sebastian Stan is back as Winter Soldier. But so the most interesting thing about this is Lewis Pullman is back as, if everyone's not aware, Lewis Pullman is in Thunderbolts. They've only credited him as Bob, but everybody else that's in the know, like us nerds, he's playing the Sentry.
Yup.
The Sentry is going to survive that movie. And he's going to be in Avengers Doomsday. So that's going to be insane to see that.
You ain't getting rid of that dude.
Right?
If you know, you know. Don't Google it. If you know, you know.
The Sentry. The best way to describe the Sentry is if Superman had multiple personality disorder.
Exactly.
Yeah. That is the best way to describe the Sentry. He's literally Marvel's Superman with a mental illness.
That's the best way you can describe it.
That's right. I forgot what his alter ego is known as. Is it the Void? Is
The
that what it's
Void.
called? Yeah, the Void. Yeah. So when he has a lapse in his personality, he becomes the dark version of himself, which is known as the Void. But when he's on his hero type shit, he's the Sentry. So it's gonna be cool to see that. I'm ready for Thunderbolts, so I'm really looking forward to that. But it's cool to hear that he's back. Other making their Avengers movie debut is Simu Lee is coming back as Shang-Chi, man. I can wait to see him coming back as Shang-Chi. Long overdue, because I thought we would have got a sequel before this happened, but hey, I'm all for it. Shang-Chi is back. And he's in the Avengers movie, so I'm sure he's super stoked about that. Who else is making their Avengers debut in this movie? Danny Ramirez from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series and the recent Captain America Brave New World film as the new Falcon. He's coming back.
Namor's back.
Yeah, that's right. Tenoch Huerta, I hope I'm saying his name right, is back as Namor.
Namor.
Right. Namor, which is
Namor.
perfect.
Because I remember they had a whole thing about, is it Namor or is it Namor? And we was like, I thought it was Namor.
I know it's Namor. I mean, for us comic fans, it's Namor. But I love the way that they handled him in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So it kind of gave a little bit more of a backstory than what he originally had.
Right, right.
So I'm down with that. I like the name. It like stands for like Child of No Love or something like that. No more. So I'm cool with that. Or Kulkulkan, as his people will call him. You know, they're not Atlanteans. They're something else. You know, it's a nice little interpretation because there's a lot of similarities, or people want to say there's.
I like how he did that though.
Him and Aquaman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I dig it. You know, because it gives you a difference. It differentiates the two characters now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we know they're going to survive their first MCU outing, but it's nice to know that the Fantastic Four will be back in Avengers Doomsday. That's Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ibn Moss Barak back as the Thing, Johnny Storm, Human Torch, the Invisible Woman, and Mr. Fantastic. So that's cool. Pedro, they're all making their MCU Avengers debut. After their solo film. It's not a solo. You know what I mean?
Their debut.
Yeah, their debut. Yeah. Anthony Mackie, our Captain America, is back. That's right. He's coming back, Captain America. That's right, for all you people. Captain America. Don't get it twisted.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know, brother. It's not mine, brother.
Oh, shit. Whatever. Sit down.
That don't work for me, brother.
Letitia Wright is coming back as Black Panther. So that's going to be cool to see her coming back for the first time since Wakanda Forever. Winston Duke is back as M'Baku.
M'Baku.
Yeah. Oh, man. And let's see. I think
I want to see him and Braun Breaker go at it.
Oh, man. That would be sick. Paul Rudd back as Ant-Man, Scott Lang.
Ant-Man.
That's right. I love how they did that with the scrolling of the seats, and it showed a little tiny seat.
Little bitty seat. That was wild.
I love that they keep the running joke. I love that. And this is going to be all the feels. Hopefully they get an on-screen moment. I hope it's not the last one, but something tells me it might be. Tom Hiddleston and Chris Hemsworth are back as Loki and Thor, respectively. So you got to believe they're going to have some sort of on-screen moment. Of course, if you're a follower of the MCU like myself and the Crescent City Savage, you know, if you've watched both seasons 1 and 2 of Loki, which have been phenomenal, by the way. If you haven't watched Loki, you are missing out on some great television because I thought
go binge that.
It's so good. Both seasons are. I don't like one more than the other. They're both awesome. They're both equally dope, especially the last season, the last episode. Spoiler alert for those, fast forward here a minute if you need to. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Loki season 2's ending. Loki sacrifices himself to the multiverse and becomes the god of stories, holding the branches of the multiverse together, basically sacrificing a life to sit in the throne of he who should not be named. And he's the one keeping the multiverse together. And I feel like this is going to be the jump off for this movie because Dr. Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr., Academy Award winner Robert Downey Jr., RDJ back in the fold, but this time as a villain, he's playing Victor Von Doom. He's not playing Tony Stark as Dr. Doom. He is Victor Von Doom. Dr. Doom himself.
Chief Chef.
One of
Chief Chef crap stirrer, habitual line stepper.
Possibly a bigger threat than Thanos. I mean, I think that's safe to say because Dr. Doom has.
Oh, no way!
Yeah,
Thanos was on something. This dude
is on a whole other level.
A whole nother level.
That's right. He's on a whole other level.
Nice powers you got there. It'd be a shame if somebody were to steal them.
There's a very famous panel from Secret Wars 2015, I think, when it came out. The newer Secret Wars, which I feel like the next sequel to Avengers, which is Avengers Secret Wars, is going to take a lot from the old school Secret Wars from 1984, but mainly follow the story of the newer version of Secret Wars, which, for those who have never read it, is about the incursion, which the idea of incursions was introduced in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, where two universes collapse into another. And in that comic series, it was, man, I'm nerding out right now. In that, I sound like a total fucking geek right now, but whatever.
Well, actually,
in that story, it's the Ultimate Universe and the main Marvel universe collapsing into another and becoming one universe under the dictatorship of Dr. Doom. And that's how you get Miles Morales is now a part of the main Marvel universe in the comic books because his universe was the Ultimate Universe.
Yep.
And now that's how Peter and Miles exist in the same universe again. Because if you've ever read that run, the Ultimate Spider-Man run, that Ultimate Universe's Peter died and Miles took over as Spider-Man. So I'm giving all the spoilers right now. But
100%.
Okay. So I feel like this is going to be like that whatever universe that we saw at the end of the Marvels with Beast, it's going to be that X-Men universe
merging into the new
into the MCU universe that we know. Yeah. And I feel like Dr. Doom's going to be doing that by killing or enslaving or entrapping the god of stories, the man who's holding the branches together, Loki. So I feel like Loki is a more important part of this movie than people realize. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, man, I wonder if they're gonna introduce. Because it's still too early. Franklin Richards.
Well, they did already spoil the fact that Vanessa Kirby's Invisible Woman, Sue Storm, is pregnant in the Fantastic Steps movie. Yeah. Okay,
so by the time they get to whatchamacallem, she probably done had the baby because it's supposed to be like not a prequel, but
exactly
origin. Like
yeah. I mean, they're already gonna have their powers by the time the movies, comes out. Like they're not gonna have to sit through the whole them going into outer space and getting
all that stuff. Again. Yeah. They'll explain it, but I get it.
Yeah, so sign me up, bro. Sign me up. God,
100%.
Lord, keep me in good health. Keep me healthy. Keep me happy. I'm ready for these next MCU releases, man. I'm keeping my health. I'm watching what I eat. I gotta do what I gotta do to survive, to make it.
Gotta stretch. Gotta take my
really,
meds.
That's right.
Vitamins. Say my prayers.
My vitamins, my prayers, my vitamins. Oh man, but I am super stoked for this. I am super stoked. I mean, and also when we just had CinemaCon in Vegas, the big, it's almost like the film's convention in a way, but it's basically like they're announcing their next slate of movies over the next few years, and Sony and Marvel Studios announced that we have an official title. It's in the works for July of next year after Avengers Doomsday will be Spider-Man Brand New Day, the fourth installment of the Tom Holland Spider-Man series. And I'm super stoked for that, especially since they took the tagline from the comic book series Brand New Day, which of course takes place after the very controversial storyline where Peter makes a deal with Mephisto and sacrifices his love and marriage with Mary Jane to bring Aunt May back to life and to have the entire world forget he was Spider-Man. So there's some similarities there because, of course, in No Way Home, he sacrifices his identity as Peter Parker to save the world, you know, from a multiverse incursion, which was happening in No Way Home. You know what I mean? So what does the story potentially happen? What happens in this new story, this Brand New Day? It's a fresh start for Peter Parker. We're finally getting broke, can't pay his rent, handmade suit Peter, the Spider-Man. You know what I mean? It's handmade suit. There's no tech suit. He's not going to be these jokes about Iron Man Jr. no more. He's on his own. He's making his own web shooters.
I gotta take these pictures. I need some money.
Exactly. You know, like we're finally gonna get the Spider-Man that we've been waiting for. Which I'm not to say that I disliked their version of him up until this point, because I loved each and every entry.
Yeah.
Of his trilogy so far. He will be the first Spider-Man to get a fourth film. You know, because famously that was supposed to be Tobey's Spider-Man before they just said reboot, and Andrew Garfield was casted.
Reboot.
Yeah. So, and if rumors are to be believed, bro, they're looking for a late 30s, early 40s Asian male to be casted in a pivotal role, which makes me wonder, are we going to get the live action debut of Mr. Negative?
Ooh.
Which would be so dope to see, because I feel like we need to start introducing, like, Spider-Man has a wide range of villains that he could do.
He got some villains, bro.
We don't need to see another Lizard. We don't need to see another
Electro
right
for
now.
the umpteenth time for
We don't
Vulture
Goblin. We don't need that.
We shuffling through so many. You know, go through the Rolodex.
Exactly. So I'm excited for the potential for Brand New Day. Even Tom Holland is super stoked to work on this film. He's currently
You ready to get out in front of the camera and go spoil it?
I know, right? But yeah, man. So MCU is doing the damn thing. I think they're about to hit their stride once again, man. I know there's been some bumps in the road since Endgame, which that you have to admit there has been.
Yeah, bro. Folks, you know how the community is, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Folks, you get like a one or two bad shows or movies or whatever, and folks is like, man, they don't fell off, man. MCU
right,
fell off, bro.
That's true. That's true.
They
yeah.
had me. You know, a couple of the shows kept me up, and then of course, you know, X-Men '97, bro. That was life right there.
Oh,
that was better.
Oh,
that was better than that had to be. Even though that was the animated, cartoon. That was better than that had no business being.
Exactly.
All of us from back in the day, Fox Kids Club and junk. We was looking at that with a fine-tooth comb. We was
right.
Like, okay, I ain't gotta like it. You better be good. We was ready to rip it apart. But when it came out firing, we was all in it.
Oh yeah.
We was swimming in it. Week to week, we was swimming in that.
That's right. Right now, I'm doing the same thing. I'm feeling the same feels I felt for X-Men '97 that I'm feeling right now for Daredevil: Born Again. This show has been on point.
Leave me alone, bro. Daredevil doing too much for me, bro.
It's been good. It's been good, man. It's been good. And I don't know. Have you seen the set photos for the second season?
Nah.
He's gonna be rocking the black suit, man, with the red eyes, and he's got the red D's on his chest finally for Daredevil, man.
Bro. Because right now, they cooking. They cooking without a stove. They cooking with all natural propane and propane accessories. Out here gassing. They out here gassing, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They got the Nutrilite pot for you Cajuns out there, for my Louisiana people. They out here cooking gumbo in a pot outside with the Nutrilite pot. They cooking, bro. If you haven't seen Daredevil: Born Again, you sleeping, you tripping. I'm not gonna shame you, but you need to get on that. Take your kids Disney subscription. Be like, Daddy, have you been watching my Disney subscription? You're dang right, I paid for it, and you better watch that whole thing, bro. Cause they out here cooking.
That's right,
bro.
Yes, sir.
Kingpin, his issues, and his wife, bro.
Oh man, it's been good, man. It's been so good. I'm ready for the last episode. They teased the last episode already with a photo of Daredevil and John Bernthal's Frank Castle, the Punisher, side by side.
Bro,
yeah.
him in the conversation with him and Daredevil.
That was wow.
Where the award at, bro?
That's right.
You better not do another Golden Globes or Emmy Awards without them boys being nominated. Turn that thing off.
Do they have a nomination for just a scene? Because that scene alone could just win an award. Not that
that scene, bro.
Just that scene was so good, man.
Scene.
The raw emotion in
it. Go get him, Daddy.
Oh man, when he said that, dude, I was like, oh damn. Yeah, I'd like to too.
Why is it so tight in here?
Right? Yeah, man.
Bruh.
Woo.
10 out of 10, bro. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Certainly 10 out of 10.
They stuck the landing.
That's right, for sure. Yeah, man, I think that I just want real quick, I guess, before we end this pop culture minute, I just wanted to shout out unexpectedly, which I did not, I heard there was a lot of bad things. It's like one of those so bad it's good type of situations, but shout out to a Minecraft movie for breaking the record of biggest opening for a video game movie, which was held by the Super Mario movie, that released, 2 years ago? That was 2 years, right? 2 years, 3 years
ago. Or two. It didn't seem like that long. It seemed like last year, I think.
I don't think it was last year. I think it was like 2 years, maybe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3. But anyways, but yeah, so a Minecraft movie broke all sorts of records. It's been trending online for a lot of craziness going on in the theaters. People kind of having an event for this movie for some called Chicken Jockey. I haven't seen the movie myself. Hopefully I don't get involved in that. I think I saw a clip of this on TikTok where someone snuck an actual live chicken into the theater. and yeah, I'm not even kidding. Snuck in an actual live chicken into a theater screening of a Minecraft movie, and when the Chicken Jockey part happened, they brought the chicken out, and everybody was throwing popcorn and drinks everywhere. Like,
wow!
Recently, some people have been comparing it to a Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like how those things go. And that's crazy to say because I've actually been to one of those in the past.
Word?
Or a picture show screening, and there is a part in the show where you throw food at the screen and whatnot. But yeah, like a Taryn in the chat room is that's wild. Yeah, look it up, man. On TikTok, or you can find it on YouTube. There's a clip. Some guy is sitting on the shoulders of another guy, and then from somewhere, literally like a cartoon pulls out a chicken, and he's holding the chicken. It's crazy. And then Jack Black's. I guess new video game song that's trending. Of course, he made a big hit with Peaches. Peaches, 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 Peaches from the Super Mario movie. now he's got a new hit called Lava Chicken. Lava chicken.
Bro, you sound just like him too, bro.
Huh?
I said you sound just like him too, bro.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, that Super Mario Brothers movie was 2023.
Oh, see, that's what I thought. Okay. So yeah,
for some reason it felt like I just seen the thing, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So wow. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but congrats to the Minecraft movie. My interest is piqued because of all this social media buzz around it.
Yeah, bro.
Now, I don't know much about Minecraft. I've never played the game myself, but
me neither.
I do want to check it out. My interest is piqued. I'm a fan of Jack Black. I love Jack Black. One of my favorite movies is Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, and Nacho Libre.
That in School of Rock.
Yeah, I love School of Rock too, but Nacho Libre is another one that's top tier, especially with us being a wrestling show. I love that show. You know, I love that movie. You know.
Yeah, bro.
It's my stretchy pants.
But yeah, bro, I'm kind of intrigued, man. Like I heard of Minecraft. Like my nephews and them, they into that sort of deal. Watching people play Minecraft on the YouTube and stuff. So
yeah,
I heard of it. I don't know anything about it, but I'm a Jason Momoa, Jack Black fan. So if it got some buzz to it, I'll check it out.
Yeah, exactly. And I did see something cool. The clip that everybody's been talking about too, that it'll hit you in the feels if you know the backstory to it. Former game streamer of Minecraft, very famous game streamer, Technoblade, who unfortunately passed away at a very young age from cancer. It's been a long time. It's been quite a few years since he passed away. They paid tribute to him in the movie because his kid in Minecraft was a pig man. Basically, it was like a man's body with a pig head, and he wore a crown in the game. And in the movie, there's a clip that I've seen on TikTok and online that's been circling around where a pig comes across their path as they're walking in the movie, and he's wearing a crown, and the young male actor in the movie says to Steve, aka Jack Black's character, is that the king? And he goes, no, it's a legend. So it's a nice little tip of the hat tribute cameo to the memory of Technoblade, which is cool, and
that's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. I'm glad that they did that. And the director of the movie, which also piqued my interest in seeing this film, is the director of one of my favorite comedy movies. It's not everyone's favorite cup of tea, but I think there's so many quotes in that movie that I still laugh at to this day. Napoleon Dynamite. The director is the director of a Minecraft movie. So if you like Napoleon Dynamite and that type of comedy, I think this movie might be for you. So I'm gonna give it a chance. Hopefully, sometime next week I can get to the theater and check it out.
Yeah, I'm about to holler at that movie, man. You shouldn't have said that, bro.
Yeah. So I think this has been a successful first ever the Saintly Savage Pop Culture Minute. I hope y'all enjoyed that. There'll be more to come. We'll be talking about that as, like I said, it is the summer movie season. We're getting the ball is starting to roll in terms of big movie releases. I'm sure we got a lot to talk about, especially with the upcoming July is going to be jam packed with films. We got the new Jurassic Park movie, and of course the Fantastic Four movie, and then James Gunn's attempted reboot of the DCU with Superman. So we got a lot on the docket, and some anime stuff. Maybe next week we could talk about the Devil May Cry anime that just released on Netflix. I haven't seen an episode yet, so I'm gonna try.
Dude, just spoil it. Don't you spoil it for me.
I'm not gonna spoil it. I haven't even seen it yet, so I'll definitely check that out.
I know. I just found out that it was out this week. And I
heard good things. I had a buddy at work tell me that we need to check it out. If you like the games, you'll like the anime. So I'll definitely have to check that out this weekend.
We'll be pulling up.
For sure. Oh, real quick, I didn't want to ignore this comment from Russell Lulz. He was asking us if regarding GCW. What are your thoughts on the JCW versus GCW 2-day war pay-per-view at the Gathering of the Juggalos? I didn't even know that was happening, so that's news to me.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if they was gonna get into it like for WrestleMania weekend, or something like that. But thanks for the info, though.
Right, thanks for the info, Russell Lowe's. Yeah, I know he did mention that JCW is doing a midnight WrestleMania weekend show, so I figured they would be doing a show during WrestleMania weekend. It's the biggest weekend for wrestling, every year, and this is where a lot of indie guys.
Oh yeah.
Do their
they make their bones, man.
This is where they make their yearly nut. That's right.
But yeah, I'm 100% here for it, man.
Look at that. So Brian, I can't. Am I saying your name right? Fancione? Am I saying it right? Please forgive me if I'm saying your name right. But Brian in the chat said, "Can't wait to go to Vegas. BMA Dog will be here in a few weeks from today to recap the Mania experience." That's right. He will be joining us. BMA Dog, of course. Let me get this right. I want to make sure I have the name of the show correct before I, embarrass myself. Let me get it right because I want to give you some love, BMA Dog. He is the host of the Beantown Sports Pound for IE Sports Radio. He will be us. Francione. Oh, did I say that right? Francione. Okay, Francione. There you go. Thank you, Taryn. I think I did say it right then. Look at me. Thank you for that. Thank you for the correction. I try to make sure I don't butcher people's names, but I do it all the time whenever I have to recite Japanese wrestlers' names. But yeah, BMA Dog, host of the Beantown Sports Pound, will be joining us on the WrestleMania recap episode of the IE Wrestling Show because he will be live in attendance at WrestleMania. And I'm hoping that we can also get the former First Lady of IE Sports Radio, of course, Miss Felicia, who's also going to be attending WrestleMania as well.
Yeah, man, y'all pull up.
She can join us. So we get like a 4-man crew, hopefully, on this WrestleMania recap episode of the IE Wrestling Show coming up in a couple weeks. Man, we are so close to WrestleMania.
Y'all pull up, spill the tea.
That's right. With that, let's take a quick little break and hear from some of our IE Sports Radio affiliates, and then we'll jump right into some wrestling news, y'all. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a moment with some more, with some actual wrestling news. So we'll be right back in just a moment. Thank you for letting us indulge our nerd-isms for a short little bit of time. But we'll be right back for the Crescent City Savage. I'm SoCal Saint. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere with the IE Wrestling Show.
Hello, ladies and sinners. Hello, sports fans around the world. Hello, IE Sports family. This is Cale Henderson, the host of IE Vegas, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio. If you folks are interested in sports in the Vegas area, if you're wanting to have a blast for 1 hour, every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is a show built for the Vegas sports fans, where we feature the Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the University of Las Vegas, Nevada Rebels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, MLB team coming soon. Either way, if you folks are looking to have a blast for 1 hour each and every week, tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you folks are interested in Vegas sports news, go to our Twitter at SinCities_IESR, and you can speak with me, the host, Cale Henderson, at Cale_Henderson on Twitter at any time. Be happy to reply. Always willing to reach out to our fans. Again, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS. The SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Yo, back live right here on the IE Wrestling Show. We just heard from the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, hosted by, of course, Taryn Rodriguez, who is in the chat room right now. Shout out to Taryn. Where is I'm looking for something else. Oh, and then the Supreme, the Sin City Sports, which is our Las Vegas chapter of Sports Radio, hosted by Cale Henderson, which is appropriate since WrestleMania weekend is in Vegas, baby. So Sin City Sports and WrestleMania actually go hand in hand this time around this year. So that's cool, the correlation there. But let's get into some wrestling news, y'all. Woo! We got a lot to talk about. We're going to try to jam through it. Real quick, little tidbits here that won't take too long to talk about. Gunther, the current World Heavyweight Champion. For how much longer? We shall see. Gunther, the Ring General, has announced via the Ariel Helwani show that he just recently did. He has signed a new deal with the WWE. He didn't get into details about how long the agreement is for, but he did mention that during this contract negotiation, he was able to secure himself a nice, comfortable, fancy tour bus. Only the big old stars get, from Punk.
You get a tour bus. You get a tour bus.
You get a tour bus. That's cool. I mean, you got to keep your big stars comfortable. Congratulations to Gunther on getting that bag, baby. Get that bag, man. You've been doing some awesome work. It's well deserved, man. He's one of the
well-deserved
on the roster. I got to say, under Triple H's booking, Gunther has been booked appropriately and very strongly. You know what I mean? Because he admitted on the Ariel Helwani show that during his run, the short-term run under Vince McMahon, he said the first 4 months working under Vince, he said he didn't really know what he was doing, in terms of himself. Not saying Vince didn't know, but he just said it was a lot of uncertainty during that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they changed a lot of the plans and stuff day of and stuff, so you really didn't know what direction you was going.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here.
They've been booking my homie. He went from being a Bond villain to straight up boss level, bruh.
Yeah, right. Let's see here.
About to fight him in an episode of on a game of Streets of Rage.
Oh man, Streets of Rage! I love that game.
We got a gang up on Gunther. This ain't gonna work out for us.
Breaking news as of yesterday: WWE's legacy inductees into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025 have finally been announced. They do this every year where they induct a collection of wrestlers into the Hall of Fame, and very well deserved, I think, for these three. Ivan Koloff, the man who ended the reign of Bruno Sammartino, the legendary first reign of Bruno Sammartino as WWF champion, is finally getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as a legacy inductee, along with Dory Funk Sr., the father of legends Dory Funk Jr. and the late, great Terry Funk. And not only that, the Ugandan giant, Kamala, will be inducted into the Hall of Fame as a legacy inductee. So those are the three newest inductees into the Hall of Fame. They will join, of course, Michelle McCool, the Natural Disasters, the Immortal Moment, which is brand new for this year's Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which is the WrestleMania 13 submission match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret the Hitman Hart, which I love the fact that I get to say that Bret the Hitman Hart will now be a 3-time Hall of Famer, being inducted as a solo act in 2006, a tag team act with Jim the Anvil Neidhart with the Hart Foundation, and now this induction with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and of course the headliner Paul Triple H Levesque going into the Hall of Fame. Am I missing anyone? I think that's it, right? So far, unless they announce one more
Luger.
before then. Huh?
Lex Luger.
That's right, Lex Luger. Sorry. Lex Luger, the total package Lex Luger also going into the Hall of Fame, which is also long overdue. They haven't announced who's going to be inducting who yet. I can only imagine that it'll be Shawn Michaels inducting Triple H. I mean, who else? Unless his wife, maybe, Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah,
I feel like Shawn would be the most appropriate one to induct him. I can see, if not her husband, I could see Michelle McCool reaching out to her former tag team partner to induct her, which would be nice to see Layla come back.
Cool.
Yeah. I know Lex Luger wants the man they call Sting to come to the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony and induct him, but there's been speculation online that Tony Khan won't allow Sting to show up at the Hall of Fame, which I don't know. I mean, is Sting still under contract even though he's retired?
He's under kind of like a Legends type contract, but he said he hasn't really heard anything about being asked if he could do it.
That's true. I mean, I don't know who could induct Luger then, if not. I know Luger was real tight with the Steiners, so maybe one of the Steiner brothers could induct him, if not both. I mean, if
I forgot who the other person
won't do it. Maybe DDP, since DDP's been real close.
I think it was DDP. I think it was either DDP. I think it was. They mentioned either Sting or DDP if Sting can't do it.
Right. I've seen that too. So, I mean, we'll see. I know you're gonna enjoy hearing this. So this is not really news, I guess, per se, but I thought this was really funny because I think this quote sums up exactly how we feel about today's music in wrestling, particularly the WWE. From Jim Johnston himself, the mouth of Jim Johnston, he did an interview recently. Why this man is not in the Hall of Fame, I don't know.
Man, for real.
But Jim Johnston had this quote on today's wrestling themes in a recent interview that he did. He stated, "It's almost a frustration to me the few times I'm going through the cable stations and I land on one of these programs and just everything seems, I'm just shaking my head like, what does this music have to do with anything? We've gone from a time when you could be cooking in the kitchen and the TV's 2 rooms away and you could just tell who's coming out to the ring based on the music, and now it's just noise." End quote. Like, hit the nail on the head, bro.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying at all.
There's only a few themes that really stand out with this god-awful Def Rebel run. Like, Io Sky's theme stands out. Rhea Ripley's theme stands out.
Yep.
Who else's theme stands out? I would say Jacob Fatu's theme stands out. That's probably one of the recent hits that's surprising. Like, his theme is dope. I like his theme song. Roman's theme song stands out. Seth Rollins' theme stands out.
Jay's music stands out.
Yeah, Jay's stands out too. Yeah, even though that's almost like a carbon copy of a CFO.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That didn't take too much imagination for that.
No, it did not. I would say Gunther's theme stands out. You know, Gunther. It's just a few themes that really stand out, but the rest of them are just like, nah. Like,
I mean, because it's like it's evident when you watch the Rumble and somebody music hits and you still wondering like
who the hell is this? Yes,
who coming out? And it's not to their name go across the Titantron that you're like, oh, it's Bailey.
God, man, Bailey's theme music is sad. They need to change it. They need to change that desperately. I know she's been talking about wanting to have Paramore, like a Paramore song.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And she definitely needs it. She definitely needs something. She definitely needs something.
They were talking about reaching out and getting more mainstream artists, kind of like back in the 2000s,
back in the day,
the ruthless aggression, when they had like, song by is gonna get the kick So
yes.
When you had mainstream artists doing these themes and stuff, so they need that right there.
Yes, they do. They desperately do. Breaking news from TNA Wrestling. The tournament is set to crown. There is a tournament that's been announced set to crown the first ever TNA International Champion. They have retired the digital media title and are introducing the first ever TNA International Championship. The winner of three-way matches will go on to a three-way match to crown the first ever champion at TNA Unbreakable, which actually takes place WrestleMania weekend, Thursday, April 17th. And these are the matches that have been set. And out of these 3 triple threat matches, 3 winners from these matches will compete in that triple threat match to crown the first ever champion. The first match announced will be Eddie Edwards of The System versus Ace Austin of ABC versus Steve Macklin. The second match will be Eric Young taking on from The System JDC and from the Rascals Zachary Wentz. And the final and third triple threat match will be Sammy Callahan versus Mance Warner versus AJ Francis. And man, I don't know who I'd pick in any of these 3 matches. I would like to see Zachary win his triple threat. I would like to see Ace Austin win his triple threat. And just for shits and giggles, AJ Francis win his triple threat.
Because he going to be insufferable. I'm here for it.
Yes.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, man. I'm here for that too. So, I mean, we'll talk more about TNA hopefully next week, because next week will be WrestleMania weekend, and our show, since it's now live on Thursdays, we'll actually get to talk about it prior to it airing. So we'll get more on that next week, hopefully, because I've been trying to keep up with TNA, and unfortunately I don't have any match news at the moment right now for TNA Unbreakable. But we'll bring that to y'all next week with our WrestleMania pre-show. That's going to be our big show next week. We're going to preview WrestleMania, go in depth with WrestleMania and NXT Stand and Deliver, all that good stuff. I know I mentioned this earlier, so I wanted to bring this to your attention, brother. Live. Did I say the 17th? I meant the 18th. I'm so dumb. No, that's a Friday. I'm sorry. It is Thursday the 17th. This article is wrong. Sorry. Announced for GCW Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 13. The official matches have been announced for some of their competitors. You can expect to see some more wrestlers on the card as announced. John Grissom will be in attendance competing. Former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Zack Sabre Jr. will be in attendance, as well as Bullet Club member or War Dog member. I can't remember which one he belongs to. Gabe Kidd will be in attendance. War Dogs, War Dogs. He will be in attendance as well. It'll be streaming live on Triller TV Plus. And it's going to be live from Las Vegas, the Palms Resort in Las Vegas, Thursday, April 17th. These are the matches that have been announced. And man,
isn't Natalia supposed to have a match?
Huh?
Isn't Natalia supposed to have a match?
Yes, I was just about to say that. So
my bad.
WWE's Natty Neidhart will go 1-on-1 in Bloodsport against Mayu Yamashita. 1-on-1 with Mayu Yamashita. Natty Neidhart making her Bloodsport debut. That's dope. Charlie Dempsey returns to GCW from NXT to take on Shinya Aoki. WWE's Karrion Kross returns to GCW to take on JR Kratos. Layla Hirsch goes 1-on-1 with Jordan Blade. From NXT, Carmen Petrovic will take on, from Stardom, Micah. And Timothy Thatcher will go 1-on-1 with Pete Dunne.
Ooh, Toothless Timmy.
Yeah. Oh man, they're gonna be knocking some teeth out of their faces. That match.
Word.
They're gonna be hitting it strong style for sure. That sounded more wrong than I expected it to. My apologies.
Man, apologies. Bloodsport usually they don't usually mess around, and they usually put on a consistently good show.
I feel the Bloodsport event was the inspiration for the underground matches because there's no ropes. I don't even know if they have the ring posts up on those shows. It's just bare knuckle, take no prisoners type of style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those events are usually really fun. I know recently. Oh God, I forgot his new name now, but formerly known as Baron Corbin competed in one.
Yeah.
Under his new name. I know the last name is like Dwyer or Dyer or something like that. I forgot what the first name is though. Is it Bishop? Is it Bishop Dyer?
Bishop Dyer?
Something like that, yeah. This is some interesting news, brother. Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW, acquired by the owners of Haverford West County, a Welsh soccer team in the UK. Morley Sports Management Limited has acquired OVW Wrestling. Random would be an understatement. This follows the of AEW and the Khan family and Fulham FC, Progress Wrestling and the directors of Lee McAtter and Martin Best of Tremere Rovers, and now OVW with Morley Sports Management. I mean, that's good for OVW that a Morley Sports Management that runs a football team in the European circuit is now acquired them here in the United States. So maybe that'll give some more eyes on the product. I know OVW's been it's got more eyes on the product since they had that documentary that came out on limited series, docu-series they had. I mean, good for them, whatever keeps the lights on for them. I'm glad to hear that,
Word.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm trying to look for here. Oh, okay. So this is interesting too. I don't know. I want to get your thoughts on this. There was a lot of releases recently on TNA's background. The Office. TNA sent out an email saying that Ariel Chenier, who was the booker recently, Rob Kligman, Michael Shuchenko, and Gail Kim have all been either released or put in their 2-week notice to leave the company. And now former indie star Delirious is now the new head of creative for TNA Wrestling. I know there's been a lot of controversy with that, especially Gail Kim's release, because Gail Kim was of course, taking care of the Knockouts division, and a lot of fans were in uproar. Even some wrestlers had their 2 cents added in, that Gail Kim no longer with the company. Some people even saying that Shawn Michaels and NXT should scoop her up to be a coach for the Performance Center. I don't know how I feel about that because I know Gail Kim hasn't really been too pro WWE in the past. I mean, which is fair because her treatment wasn't the best during both her runs there. And of course, who was in charge at those times. So, I mean, things are different now. I mean, I wonder, I feel she could be a definite asset to the women's division on NXT. But, I mean, we shall see. But she definitely doesn't need to work because she is married to a very famous chef and Robert Irvine. So, I mean, she don't need the money. She good in that aspect. But, I mean, I don't know. What do you think with the TNA shaking up their office staff,
Yeah, when I heard about that was kind of a shock to me as much as it was everybody else, because Gail Kim has been a cornerstone of the Knockouts division since she was wrestling back in the day, with Awesome Kong and whatnot. And she's been not just an advocate for the Knockouts, but she's been an advocate for all the wrestlers in the back. And it's so much that when they announced that she was being released, a lot of folks was like, nah, bro, I'm out. They was like, hey, I'm gonna finish up, but I'm out after that. They right. was like, if you want to kick the talent in the nuts or the huge, that's the way to do it, because everybody was cool with Gail. She went to bat for everybody, the guys, the girls. She went to bat for everybody in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a rough one for everybody, and so many people was like, that was my girl, and you just why?
Right.
So, it's like they do 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. TNA, they knocking out the park with this, with the rebrand and the partnership with NXT. But then you go and do this, and everybody's like, why?
Right.
But, with handing the keys over to Delirious, I'm cool with, because he did such a good job in ROH.
Right. He used to be the booker, right? Or
Pre Tony
for
Khan.
ROH.
Yeah, he did such a good job there. So I think he could he can book. They'll be all right.
I think so. I think they'll be just fine.
That, because I didn't really know the dude that was currently booking. I didn't know him. Like I knew Scott D'Amore.
Yeah, he was.
Then I knew somebody else was doing it, and I didn't know who was doing it.
I think he was like just somebody that was upper management with Anthem Sports, so he was just kind of like shoehorned into that role.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, so he wasn't anybody that came from a wrestling background, far as I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm glad to see Delirious get a chance to run the show. So that's cool. But
right.
The biggest thing was Gail Kim getting cut loose like that. I mean, why, bro? Like, she's like, I don't know, was she ruffling so many feathers and stuff backstage because she was speaking out? Because she's been very outspoken, but she's been speaking out for the right reasons.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if they didn't like that or what, but that's wild, man. Because now the morale in the back is like, hey, man, after when my contract is up, I'm out. Like, that was my girl. I mean, they just done. They just done with TNA. So I don't know, man.
I don't know either, man. Yeah. So I guess we'll see. We'll keep an eye on TNA and see how the future goes with all this changes, recent changes. We'll see. Speaking of recent changes, this is a huge change, especially to the card of WrestleMania, and it's a very unfortunate change. Very highly anticipated match between Randy Orton and Kevin Owens is off the books, due, unfortunately, to a severe neck injury that Kevin Owens unfortunately sustained, and he's actually had, and been working through it much longer than we expected. He said it's been over like 2 months or something like that. He's been working through this neck injury, and he had 2 back-to-back brutal-ass matches during this time frame. Of course, he had the brutal match with him and Cody, the ladder match, which is shocking that he went through that crazy match and did all the crazy spots that he did with such an injury. And then he had that non-sanctioned match, I would definitely say WrestleMania caliber match with Sami Zayn in Toronto at Elimination Chamber. And then he came out on SmackDown, was it last week, and said that I'm injured. I have a severe neck injury that's going to require surgery. And don't believe any of the BS news reports saying that he's going to be out for 5 years. There's no truth to that. He commented on that and stated as fact. There's no truth to that. It's not going to be any. I mean, he's going to be out quite a while. It's probably going to be one of those neck fusion surgeries that keeps him out for better part of a year, like most fusion surgeries have in the past for certain wrestlers. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Benoit, things that guys like that. So hopefully. Hopefully we do see KO in the future, man. I hope it's not a career-ending, type of injury. I hope it's not something that will keep him out forever. But it is very, very, it's very touch and go right now. So our thoughts and prayers are with Kevin Owens and his family. Kevin Owens is definitely one of my favorite wrestlers of the new era. I've liked him all the way back to his Kevin Steen days in ROH. So I mean, it's really unfortunate to see. Kevin Owens sidelined with such a serious injury, man. So, I mean, just it sucks that he's going to miss WrestleMania and the big marquee match against Randy Orton. It really sucks for us fans. But I know it sucks even more for him because I know he was really looking forward to this. You could see it in his face, like his genuine, reaction to everything and the way he told it to the fans on Friday night on SmackDown. So, it just sucks. It's really unfortunate, man. It really sucks.
Yeah, man. I hope he has a speedy recovery and everything. Because, like you said, I've been following him for like years, man. And he's always put on, but he's always been, a great, talent.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether it be on the Indies or ROH or WWE. He's always been that dude, man. He's always helped elevate talent. It's not just him getting over. He gets over, but then he helps elevate the talent that's in there with him too.
Yeah.
So man, he always makes the show, whether he's a heel or a face, he always makes the show better. So what? Not just the match, but the segment and everything.
Exactly.
So I hope he, has a speedy recovery and everything. I would hate for him to have, his last match be with his homie, Sami Zayn.
I mean, if that is the unfortunate outcome, which I really hope it's not, but if it is the unfortunate outcome, I think he could be happy with that because he went out with his best friend. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no ways to go out in the ring. You know what I mean? It could be a stinker or it could be a match that remains fresh in people's minds because of how awesome it was. And that, but God forbid this is his the end of his career.
Hopefully he just out for like maybe like a year or some change, letting it heal up, and then then we hear that. Everybody lose their mind and stuff. He come back. So shout out to the homie Kevin Owens
for sure.
And hopefully we get that speedy recovery, man. Get your rest, bro.
That's right. With that said, I put out a poll after the news came out about Kevin Owens on the official IE Wrestling Show Twitter account. And I said that with Kevin Owens unfortunately out of WrestleMania and sidelined for the foreseeable future due to injury, who do you think should be Randy Orton's opponent at WrestleMania? And I gave the options as other, and add a comment below who you think should be in that place. Add Randy Orton to the Cena and Cody match. Bring Aleister Black back, I think, a week early because I really think they're saving him for the SmackDown after WrestleMania. But I'm seeing some people saying they should just move it up a week and have him start an immediate feud with him to give him a match at WrestleMania, to give Randy a match. Or I said SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. And right now, the poll still has a few hours before it's over. But right now, Nick Aldis is winning with the majority of votes with 50% of the votes.
It makes a lot of sense the way SmackDown, the way they did on SmackDown the last Friday,
right?
RKO and Nick Aldis out of nowhere.
Yes, exactly.
Out of nowhere, like you was like, what he did that for? So I can see Nick Aldis. You like, man, I'm a man first. You can't be putting your hands on me, bro. And bang, we get us a match.
Yep.
It makes sense. To do the Aleister Black thing, it'd be way too early on such short notice. You want to maximize his return.
Right.
You want that music that
oh yeah.
No man has ever truly good. No man has ever truly evil. You want to maximize that. So I saved that for the Raw or SmackDown after Mania. You did. So,
I agree. So yeah, hopefully, I think Nick Aldis is probably the best choice. For Randy, because there is already a story there. I mean, like people have been sharing a clip of whenever Nick Aldis fined Randy for an RKO that he received when he returned, and it was only for $50,000. And he looks at the check and says, "This is more than this is for $100,000. What is this for?" And he said, "That's for next time." And
I remember that.
Lo and behold, he hit it on him this past Friday.
Foreshadowing.
And I know Nick Aldis has said multiple times he wants to get in that ring. He said he's not done yet. He's still good to go. And
he looked like it.
Yeah, I mean, he looks in great shape still. I know he's always in a suit, but I mean, he's still. he's still ready to go, man. He's still very young. I think he's like around my age, like 37, 38, I think, mid 30s. You know what I mean? He's not
the national treasure one more again, bro.
That's right, the national treasure, man. He, 10 pounds of gold, man. He's not done.
10 pounds of gold, baby.
And I think him and Randy could have a damn good match. There's a built-in story there, at least, from already, so I say let's do it. I mean, maybe we'll find out tomorrow night on SmackDown. Another match that's kind of in limbo is the match that is yet to be announced officially for WrestleMania, the feud between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, because Drew McIntyre legitimately has an eye injury from when he got slammed through the car windshield.
Oh, wow.
Real glass actually got in his eye. So that's why he's wearing an eye patch. That's not just a gimmick. That's legit. Like,
I didn't know that was legit. Oh, snap.
It is legit. Yeah. So right now,
recently, around like I told you so.
Right. Yeah, he's wearing an eye patch. He recently did a podcast where he said he's frustrated right now. He's waiting to see if he can get cleared. I know Drew does not want to miss WrestleMania. I don't want to see Drew miss WrestleMania. So that's another. Man. So that's another match that's in limbo right now too. So it hasn't been officially announced yet. Which is unfortunate, man. Which is very unfortunate. So real quick before we jump in, I know we're getting close to the end of the show, but I need to comment on this. I need to hear what my boys got to say about this. And I labeled it Swerve, we coming for you. So for those who don't know, there's been an uproar online, some craziness going on, and it all started with that oh God, I hate this man. He is such a douche. The man that people think working with the feds, Federale himself, DJ Vlad. I hate even say his name. Yeah, DJ Vlad, who's an undercover fed. He's got to be, because every time somebody shows up on his show, some crap happens. Something happens. People get locked up. Things happen, and for some reason, Swerve Strickland of AEW decided to go on this man's show, and he said some. I've got to say, he said some. It was his opinion. I'll give him that. It was his opinion, but it was a little bit out of pocket, and it was a shot at Booker T. You know what I mean? Booker definitely didn't appreciate that, and at an event like some sort of convention or something, Booker stated on his Hall of Fame podcast that he met up with Swerve, and he told Swerve, he gave Swerve the business, basically. So this is his comment here. This is a little long-winded, so I'm gonna try and narrow it down the best I can. It was at an event in Virginia. Booker T approached Swerve face to face, and he said, he told him he described it. He said he had an offer to go on Vlad TV before as well, and he turned it down. He said they called me back. They offered me money to go on Vlad, and I turned it down because I was not going to go on Vlad TV and be exploited. I wasn't going to go on Vlad TV and have him make me look like a fool in front of the world. I was not going to do that. And kudos to Booker T, because there's some other guys that have said the same thing. Like, I'm a fan of Godfrey, comedian Godfrey. You know Godfrey, right, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, Godfrey, and he famously used to go on the show. He used to go on DJ Vlad quite frequently until DJ Vlad said some out-of-pocket stuff about the minister himself, Louis Farrakhan, Minister Farrakhan. He said some out-of-pocket stuff about Farrakhan and borderline racist things about Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. And Godfrey didn't appreciate that and wanted Vlad to, because he basically called Vlad out on his BS that he was lying and this and that, and that yada yada. It's a whole thing, and basically Vlad was just like, if you don't, I'll get some other people to be on my shows. Basically Vlad is profiting off of the culture. He's a culture vulture. This is the best way to describe it. Vlad is a culture vulture, profiting off the backs of young African-American entrepreneurs and people in the hip-hop community and whatnot, and that's basically the best way to describe him. And Booker T very intelligently was like, I'm not going to be the one. You know what I mean? And it goes without saying, so he he went up to Swerve, Booker went up to Swerve at this event, and he basically told him, I was disappointed. I'm disappointed in you as a young brother, because all I did for Swerve Strickland and others like him was put him over, put him on a pedestal as being one of the best out there, that he deserves to be AEW champion. And for him to be saying something like that about me, he said, I don't know if these guys think racism stopped in 1990 when I got into the business, but it didn't. You may not hear about a lot of racial issues with Booker T because I handled racial issues hands first. I opened doors. I broke down barriers for people like Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland would perhaps not even be here if it wasn't for me. And then, I don't see anything wrong with what Booker said. He didn't, he's disappointed is basically the best way he could have described that. You know what I mean? And then and this is unfortunate because a lot of people are saying the same thing like I'm about to say now. AEW Dynasty had a very solid card. It ran way too long, which is another criticism still to this day of it ran way too long.
Mm-hmm.
But the matches up until the main event were not, they were hitting, great matches. Triple threat, Ricochet, Speedball, Kenny, no doubt. One of the best matches on the card.
Mm-hmm.
It was hitting. You get to the main event, you're in there almost 5.5 hours in for some BS ending with Swerve and Neo Moxley, and the Young Bucks come back, which makes no sense that they left because they were afraid to deal with the Deaf Riders, and then they show up to help Moxley retain the title. I know they tried to explain it away last night on Dynamite, but still, I don't see the logic there. But anyway, after the match, after they went off the air, Swerve says basically F Booker T, and then walks out. And now the entire internet wrestling community is not talking about how good the show was up until this point. They're only talking about two things: how pissed off they were at the ending of the show, and Swerve making that comment, which takes away from all the talented gals and guys on the roster doing their thing on that show. The fans should be talking about how great the show was up until the main event, and be angry with the main event, not talking about this now it seems petty between Swerve and Booker T even said as much, on the follow-up to his podcast, because somebody showed him the clip, of course, and he's just like, look, I think it's, he even said he said what I just said, summed it up, they should be talking about the show and how good it was. Even Booker gave them some, the show was good up until that point. And then, he's like, I'm just going to leave it at that. And so Booker took a bit of a high road and didn't really go into it. And fans in the NXT arena at the Performance Center on Tuesday, and when Booker T was making his entrance to the announce table, were chanting, "Swerve, we coming for you," to Booker T's theme music, which I thought was funny. Yeah, but it is. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know where Swerve is coming with all this, man. And people got receipts. Swerve. I called him on X. I went on a bit of a tirade that he's the Clarence from 8 Mile. He's Anthony Mackie's character where he's playing gangster, because Swerve, didn't grow up like Booker T. From people who've done the research, Swerve had a pretty good upbringing.
He told you he was a military kid.
Yeah,
he ain't been shy about it.
Right?
That don't mean you can't come up in the hip hop culture.
It's not. I'm not saying that's not the case, but but
I don't see where he become Clarence from all that.
I would say that
Clarence had Clarence.
I don't know, but I mean, he Clarence. But anyway, but I don't know, man. What are your thoughts on this whole unfortunate thing? I feel like
I kind of see where he coming from though, because with Booker T, bro, like Booker T was our dude going up.
Yeah, man.
Like whether it be Harlem Heat or his solo run, and from like everybody still to this day says he should have went over Triple H. Everybody still to this day, they say Booker T kind of like he been like coasting, dude. He been like company dude, bro. Every time, whether it would be, especially under Voldemort, whenever Voldemort or somebody would do something,
Right.
Booker T be the first person to come and say, nah, it ain't this, or it ain't that.
Mhm.
He be ready to smooth it on over and stuff, or
Yeah.
gloss over how bad it is, knowing good and well is just as bad. Like he was like company dude. So what Swerve brought up was, pardon me. What Swerve brought up was when him and they talked about you think racism ended, blah 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 blah. He said, and you know he always stood up. He always stood up 10 toes and all this other stuff. And Swerve said, you didn't say nothing when Vince said the N-word, which he did not. And they got people that got receipts backstage. Mark Henry, Devon, they got people backstage that got receipts that said that they can clarify what Swerve said. That man ain't said nothing when he said this said the N-word and had him in that segment backstage. You sitting there talking about, oh, I stood up for this, I stood up for that. You ain't standing up for Vince McMahon when he sat there with a do-rag on his head and said the N-word. What's up with that? That's all he brought up. Because Booker T over here misremembering and stuff. And that's all
McMahon with the do-rag happened way later. McMahon and the do-rag was after that.
But yeah, he ain't. The point is, he ain't walking it like he talking it. And then he kind of like cheap shotted the whole whatchamacallit when they were talking about black wrestlers getting elevated and stuff. He said they need to step their game up, this, that, and the third. They're not as talented as I was. So basically you saying the Street Profits, Carmelo, any of the other black wrestlers, male wrestlers out there does not getting pushed like they should. They're not talented enough. That's basically what you're saying. You're basically saying they're not talented enough.
I mean, did Booker really say that though? I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't remember him
Look
saying
it up.
that.
He on his thing. Go look up his podcast. He basically said that. So like I said, Booker T, ever since he started doing that reality wrestling podcast, something been coming out of pocket on a regular basis, bro. His commentary and stuff been funny and hilarious and junk, but that dude be coming out of pocket on a regular basis, and it's just now that folks done gotta put a microscope on it because him and Swerve going back and forth. Booker T, bro, he been.
Oh man, I like Booker, man.
I like Booker too, but
Booker's a legend, man.
I'll be coming out of pocket, bro. This before the Swerve stuff. He been coming out of pocket for a while.
I mean, he's a legend, man. He's got his opinion.
He got his opinion, but you can't go misremembering stuff.
I don't know. We don't know what happened, what the conversation was between him and Vince, whenever that happened. Afterwards, before that, nobody knows. That's only between Vince and Booker. Other wrestlers can speculate on that however they want.
They didn't speculate. They was there, and they got their receipts. And the Vlad thing too. About the Vlad thing, Vlad had receipts too. Love him or hate him, he pulled up text messages where Booker T was more than happy to do the show. And then the day of, Vlad showed up late or something like that, and Booker T went peaced out because he had stuff to do. So he was gonna do the show. It wasn't all this, oh, I'm gonna stand up to Vlad. I'm not gonna do the show because I see what you do to black folks. No, he was gonna do the show. And
that's not what I got from those text messages. Huh? I think you're misreading those text messages because they're all one-sided until Booker was just like, "I'm good, bro. I don't, thanks, but no thanks." That's all Booker said.
Don't read them things verbatim.
I am reading. I'm looking at them right now. There's no interaction from Booker except thanks, but no thanks. It's all one-sided from Vlad.
Say no. That man was supposed to show up.
There's nothing that even implies that. There's nothing.
Wow! Don't make me go back and pull them things up because
I'm reading them right now.
I didn't see two different podcasts.
You want to read them right now? Let me know if you still want to do the interview. We hit with your guy a few times, but haven't got a response. Let's do a call. I want to make this right. Let's do the interview.
That's why he said I want to make this right because he's
supposed to do it. Thanks, but no thanks.
That was after.
This goes back all the way to September of 2020 up until January of 2021. Booker's got receipts, my dude.
He said thanks, but no thanks because that was after. That was after.
Nah, bro.
That was after the one Vlad missed.
Nah. Booker's got receipts, man.
He ain't got no receipts, bro.
I'm standing on. Swerve is a corny ass. Fuck him. I don't care. AJ Francis even came out and talked about how corny Swerve was. Talk about Swerve was the reason why they got let go and all this shit with Hit Row and all that. And what does AJ got to do? AJ ain't coming back to WWE. He ain't got no reason to talk positive about that and whatsoever. He knows he ain't going back. You know what I mean? I don't know, man.
Man, they said
there's a lot of shit, bro.
David showed what the reason the Hit Row got canned.
Swerve says a lot of stuff out of pocket though too, man. It ain't just Booker. Swerve says a lot of stuff that just makes you think, you know, like
he gonna try to turn it. He gonna move the goalpost. Swerve says a lot of stuff out of pocket too.
He does.
Let's not look at Booker T no more. Let's not talk about Booker T no more.
I'm not saying I'm not denying Booker has said some questionable things in the past, but on this, Booker's right on this. Booker's right on this. I'm sorry. I mean, that's your opinion. You can think otherwise, but I'm gonna go with the majority of what people are saying online.
The majority?
Booker's right.
The majority?
Yes, the majority.
The majority of who?
The majority of everybody on the internet wrestling community.
Whatever.
Everybody's siding with Booker on this one.
The internet wrestling community been saying Booker T been coming out of pocket. You wild.
Yeah, but not on this thing with him and Swerve.
Man.
And my whole thing is, if Swerve's such a tough dude, why didn't he say fuck Booker whenever Booker was in his face? Why do you got to wait till he's thousands of miles away inside of a ring in an arena somewhere?
Look at you, bro. You taking up for Booker. You taking up for tap dance.
It is what it is.
Look at him.
It is what it is. Because Swerve's smart enough not to say shit out of pocket to Booker in his face. Booker T beat up Batista for Christ's sakes when Batista was a monster.
Oh, so now you want fighting stuff?
Booker has done time.
So now you want.
You think Swerve is smart enough to? He was at least smart enough not to say shit to his face. That's all I'm saying. Like he didn't have.
He get in front of that microphone and say he's standing on business, but then you got other legends sit there and say that ain't what happened, and you want to move the goalpost.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Swerve.
Go stand with Booker T.
Okay, I will, because when AEW goes out of business and Swerve's looking for a job and he's gonna try and crawl his ass back to WWE.
Now he on his tribalism stuff.
That's not gonna happen. Yep.
That didn't take long.
Yep.
That didn't take long at all.
Yep.
How many checks has Triple H been sending you? What? None. No check.
He ain't gotta pay me to speak the truth. He ain't gotta pay me to speak the truth. Okay.
You pulling that tribal? You always pull that tribalism stuff, bro.
It's not tribalism when it's true.
It ain't.
He ain't gotta pay me to tell the truth.
AEW going out of business when they sitting there just got to deal with bro. Make it make sense, bro.
Oh my god, bro, calm down.
Make it make sense.
Really? They lost over $77 million last year. They're in the red. They're not in the black. They can't last like that forever.
Who they just got a TV deal with?
A TV deal with who? Who got a TV deal? Who they get a TV deal with?
Who? Didn't they just sign with HBO Max?
Ooh, okay. That's barely pulling 1,000 viewers a week.
Ooh, let's move the goalpost again.
Who's barely pulling down 50,000 views a week?
Again.
It's not moving the goalpost.
Get out of here with that mess, bro. Old tribalism stuff.
It's not tribalism when it's true.
Triple H for them checks them imaginary checks he's supposed to be writing.
It's not tribalism when it's true, bro.
It ain't true.
It is true.
Don't like him. That's all to it. It teach his own. But don't go making
yeah.
Up.
But it's true
don't
though.
Go making stuff up though.
How's it making stuff up? It's fact. It's
they're gonna be out of business in a couple of years. They're gonna be out of business. You sound like TNA folks. You sound like TNA gonna be out of business in a couple of years. Here we are.
If anything, TNA is the number 2 wrestling company in the country today. They're the longest running. They've been in business for 20 years.
Good night, everybody.
They've been in business over 20 years.
Said TNA, the number 2 wrestling company. Good night. Good night, everybody.
They've been in business over 20 years. Can you deny that fact? They're still standing strong. They're selling out arenas. They're doing their damn thing. They've gotten more eyes on their product. They've gotten more subscribers to their streaming service. They've been more successful. They've been selling out show after show after show.
This man sat here and said he ain't say New Japan. He ain't say AEW. This man
New Japan is not anywhere close to the top 5, let alone top 3 in this country. Not after what Tony Khan did, fucking poaching all their talent. There's no way. New Japan has no footing in this country. Barely. They're a niche audience. 100%. Just like AEW is a niche audience.
100% showed your tribalism, bro. But
I don't care. I show it all the time. I don't know what booking decisions Tony Khan keeps making. He literally he's like, fuck it. I'm gonna just book it how I want. He's become Vince McMahon, where he claims to listen to the fans and still do what he wants to do.
You ain't gonna say nothing about Triple H booking, but we all gonna gloss over that.
I'm not saying Triple H's booking has been the greatest. Triple H's booking needs some work in certain areas. Like the tag division is finally he needs to get it rolling. Thank God he's got the Street Profits holding the titles now. They're starting to get some pickup there. But there's a lot of other things that need some work. Like the mid-card women's titles need to be rebooked better.
Well, guess what? They don't have no perfect booker.
There's damn near as close.
They ain't got no perfect, because you can sit there and look at all the stuff, some of the stuff that they did in NXT that you don't agree with. You can look at WWE, SmackDown, and Raw, some of the stuff they did that you don't agree with, and you can go look at AEW and look at some of the stuff they do and don't agree with. There's no perfect booker. Ooh. Sky's blue and water's
But AEW fans think Tony Khan is perfect. That's the problem.
No, you think
Rob Van Dam came out and said, "What's the worst thing about AEW?
That's what you don't like.
The worst thing about AEW is AEW fans."
You go on to other people's opinion and let that ruin wrestling for you, and that's sad, bro.
I don't let anything ruin wrestling for me. I am enjoying wrestling right now because I watch good wrestling. I watch great wrestling. It's not ruined for me because I watch great wrestling. I don't watch outlaw mud show garbage. I don't waste my time.
You just said
don't waste my time.
You sat here and said you watched the show.
I didn't. I saw clips because I'm not going to waste my money, $50 for some bullshit. Hell no. I'm not going to waste any of my money and my time on that garbage.
You watch WWE and TNA and NXT every week.
The only reason I give AEW any time is because of this show. Because I have to report about it. Because I got to be fair or whatever. You know.
How you know if you don't watch it? Remember in 2019? Or we're not going to talk about 2019. We're not going to talk about WWE 2019 and how horrible it was. And
I talked about it all the time.
Watch it, and people were actually going online to watch clips because guess what? It was so bad they didn't watch it.
I was there. I lived through it. I talked about it on my show week in and week out. If anybody was super critical of the WWE product back then, it was me. I talked about it constantly. I was all for the existence of AEW. I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I was right there. Like, this is best for business, da-da-da. This is going to be great, da-da-da. I was there. You can even ask my former co-host. She will tell you. I was all for it. I talked about this religiously. Larry B. I'm putting Larry B on blast because he will even say it for me, how critical I was of WWE and how excited I was for AEW. And look at where we are now. The tide has turned.
Look at where you are now. All you talk about is their wrestling community, what they fans, AEW fans.
The booking is shit.
Fans.
When wrestlers are talking about AEW the way fans are talking about it, there is a problem.
What wrestler?
Van Dam, who has been in AEW, has even said the worst thing about AEW is its fans, and I have also said this.
Bro,
my own opinion. I have said this.
Rob Van Dam got to do with you.
So it's not just I'm not.
What does that have to do with you? Answer the question, sir. What does that have to do with you?
What do you mean? Because
that's fans.
I said that. I've been saying that. I've been saying that. It's a cult. The cult of AEW.
What did I just say? What? Listen. Stop talking for a second. What did their fans have to do with you?
What do you mean? They're fucking toxic.
So
they think everything that
he does you don't have to talk fantastic. To them. You don't have to interact with
online. Them. They talk shit to people online. They bully wrestlers. They bully anybody that has any sort of criticism for.
And your point? That's WWE fans do the same thing.
No, they do not. I don't see that. I see more AEW fans doing that than WWE fans. I'm not saying it's not existent. So I'm saying it's more so on the AEW side of things.
What is your point, though?
It's ridiculous. That's the point.
How does that affect you as a wrestling fan? How does that affect you?
That's the point.
How does that affect you?
It's ridiculous. It's the point.
How does that affect you?
That's the point.
You don't.
That's how it affects me. I've said my piece. I will end it with this.
You don't have an answer, bro.
Yes, I do. I've given you multiple answers. I've given you multiple answers about this. I've given you multiple answers.
I asked you a simple question. How does that affect you?
Because I can't get any enjoyment out of it.
With Tom, Dick, and Harry down the street, that's AEW diehard, wilding out online. How's that?
You can't enjoy something that people just talk about religiously like this. Okay, that you can't enjoy it. The show is bad. The booking's bad. All of it is terrible. The cancer of Tony Khan and his non-criticism having ass. He can't take any criticism whatsoever to try and make the product better. You live long enough. If you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and that's what he's become. And that's my final 2 cents on that. He has turned into WWE 2019. He has turned into Vince McMahon.
Bro, you just sat there and explained everything I just told you. I sat here and sat back here and I observed. Bro, you sit here and let online discourse with faceless people you will never meet ruin something for you, and you don't.
No, the product ruined it for me. I stopped watching the product because the product is bad.
How is it? How you know it's bad if you don't watch it?
I've watched it enough to stop. I had to stop. I had to turn it off.
How do you know it's bad enough if you don't watch it?
Bro, I watched it enough to the point where I had to stop.
No, you don't.
Yes, I've watched it enough to stop.
No, you don't.
Yes, I have.
No, you don't.
Yes, I have. The last thing I've ever watched was like the Adam Copeland thing when he got there. That was a bit of a, okay, it might pick up. But lo and behold, it's just another toy, get thrown out to the pasture when he gets bored with it.
That's the only thing you watch. You haven't seen anything else they've done.
Yes, I have.
It doesn't make no sense. You just said you didn't. You just said that was the last time you watched.
Religiously, yes, Larry, I didn't miss a show, but I have watched periodically.
Which one is it? Which one is it, sir?
Bro, the product is bad. That doesn't mean that wrestling. That doesn't mean
don't know because
let me talk.
Watch.
Let me finish my statement. The product is bad. Storyline wise, the product is bad. I'm not saying the wrestling is bad. I'm not giving anything away or taking anything away from the girls and the guys doing what they do in the ring.
But you just call it outlaw show wrestling.
The storyline is bad. All the storylines are bad. They're garbage.
All of them?
The storyline they've had was Tony Storm and Mariah May. It's probably the best thing they've had going. But the thing that's killing the television product right now is the bullshit with the Young Bucks and the EVP storyline leading into this Death Riders BS, this neo-Nazi BS. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's garbage. It's killing the television. People are changing the channel in droves constantly because of this. It is a ratings killer. People want
how
this
is
to
it a ratings
end.
killer and it just started?
It is not just started. It's been going on since last
It just
year.
started. The Young Bucks just came back.
I'm talking about last year when this all went down. After Punk got fired, all this BS, Tony Khan not being a boss, trying to fix
You
things.
don't even know what you're talking about, bro. That's wild.
What do you mean?
The Young Bucks.
biggest-
The Young Bucks just came back. You talking about they turning the TV off in droves? Who the internet community?
Last year didn't
agree
happen. So last year didn't happen when the storyline kicked off. That's what I'm talking about. Did you forget that they spent months just boring television with this new elite with fucking Jungle Jack Perry and making Okada look like a goof? Like that that happened. Did we forget?
Looking like a goof.
Yes, looking like
What
a
you mean
goof.
looking like a goof?
Looking like a goof. Yes. They I don't like Okada is not the wrestler he was when he was in New Japan. It's sad. He should have been booked stronger than that. They got him doing like stupid jokes and just not being what he should be. He should just be booked as a strong ass heel. He doesn't need to be making cracking jokes and acting like the Young Bucks' best friend and yada yada. That's not how he should have been booked. And now it's changed. He doesn't look like so much of a goof now. But when he first came to the company and the whole EVP shit started with him, he was booked like a goof. Sweating and shit when he sees Mercedes Moné. Like, come on, bro. He was looking like a goof. Yeah, that's all I got to say on that. He was looking like a giant goof. They need to do something, man. The Dynasty could have been the opportunity. They could have put the belt on Swerve and steered in a different direction. But
Everybody is in agreement. Everybody is in agreement that they're tired of the Death Rider storyline. They need to learn how to pivot. They should have put the belt on Swerve.
they should have.
All the other non-insequential stuff you said, out of pocket, 100%. So
That's your opinion, and it's also mine.
Opinion for somebody who actually watches the product. So
You got more power. That's more power to you, brother. I can't do it.
I'm sorry you let the internet community ruin it for you. I mean, the AEW.
No, I let Tony Khan ruined it for me.
You ain't let Lord Voldemort ruin WWE for you.
I didn't let it, but I
didn't you?
religiously and watched it. You know,
I see you went back, didn't you? Though
I did, and maybe when AEW gets better, I'll go back and watch it.
How you know if you're not watching? How can you know if something gets better if you don't watch?
It has to get better for me to watch.
How can you know if you don't watch?
I'll hear about it. You'll tell me about it, I'm sure.
So you're gonna up somebody's opinion, somebody else's opinion.
Yeah, isn't that how you go if you heard about a movie, you know, and like, oh yeah, you should check this out. It's pretty good, you know. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll check it out. Same thing.
So I can tell you,
what is so hard to understand?
So I can tell you, the stuff with the ops is good, but they still got the stupid Death Rider thing. You're not at least gonna check it out?
No. not at all.
The match they had with Megan Bain, that girl put on, dude. That match slapped. But guess what?
That's what I said. I said the card was strong from everything I did see. I watched that match in full. I watched the triple threat in full. Like the card seemed strong. The fans at least were entertained until the very main event.
But you called it an Outlaw Mud show.
Because they do some outlaw mud shit. I was not a fan of the nail spot with Mox. I thought that was unnecessary. I was not a fan.
A lot of people feel that was unnecessary. True. Go ahead. True.
I was not a fan of that.
True. But they don't do that every week.
No, they don't. but it's like they always got to take it another level, man. With that, like,
it's not for you. They do some things that's not for you. It's not for everybody.
That's true.
That's why it's the alternative. They don't do this. They do some stuff that's not for everybody.
I know. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, man. Like, they can't claim to be a sports-based product and then do stuff like that. You got their wrestlers going on podcasts saying we're more sports-based. We're sports-based. We're more wrestling-based. And then they got stuff.
They do. They wrestle.
They do wrestle.
So I mean, how are they lying?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like ever since Tony Khan started doing more backstage instead of just being the silent partner I think he was originally intended to be, things have been up and down, and now they're in a down slump.
He's been the booker from Jump Street.
Not that I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Like, I think
he has. He's talked about how he had like a whole notebook of stuff from Jump Street.
I'm sure he did, and I'm sure like he had input, but I think originally it was supposed to be, Cody and Kenny and the Bucks doing the thing. You know what I mean?
No, they had their whatchamacallem, their like specific like areas. Like Kenny was mostly with the women's division, the Bucks were with the tag team division, and Cody just had like the Codyverse, But they all reported to him.
Right. I guess, but I don't know. I just felt like I don't know. There's something more to. I don't think we'll ever find out what the reasons were, but I definitely feel like that played a part in Cody leaving.
I think so too. It's more than that. It's more we don't know exactly, and neither side is snitching.
Right.
So, yeah.
There's got to be some to it. But I don't know. I love that, man. We got heated. I love that. It's all love, baby. It's all love.
True that.
It's all love. We got heated, but it's all good. It's all love, brother. I loves you, dog. I loves you.
Dude, I argue with my legitimate family, so you know it's all love, bro.
Yeah. Everybody online probably like, ooh.
oh my, clutch my pearls. What's going on?
Oh man! Before we call it a day, man. Damn, we're running over time now. But before we call it a day, I wanted to get into more WrestleMania and NXT matches that have been announced. I mean, we could just run through it real quick. Official for WrestleMania: the United States title's on the line. Jacob Fatu will make his WrestleMania debut in a one-on-one match to challenge LA Knight. Yeah. For the title. So that's cool. I'm excited. That's an interesting matchup. I'm excited for that. Hopefully, I don't know if
I wonder if a Solo and them gonna get involved.
I feel
because Jacob been getting in their bag. He been getting in their face.
Yes, he has. I feel like, man, they want to turn Jacob, because the fans have been behind Jacob for quite a while. I mean, he's too charismatic not to be a baby face. I mean, he could be a type of anti-hero baby face where he's not like, he's not kissing babies and
he's doing his thing.
Grandpas, you know what I mean? Like, like he's a kind of a, I would say an attitude era style baby face where,
because he did that in MLW.
Right.
Towards the end of his run.
Yeah, exactly.
When he left Contra, he was more of a baby face, but with attitude,
Exactly. And that's how I feel, like Jacob Fatu it's hard to not cheer him. You know what I mean? Because he's great in the ring, and that already gets people over. When you got
the mic too.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so authentic.
Yeah, exactly. He's a natural, dude. He's very authentic. It's no nonsense. What you see is what you get with him. You know what I'm saying? So I think this could be Jacob's coming out party at WrestleMania. So I'm excited to see this matchup. I'm hoping that the potential tag team title match between the Street Profits and Motor City Machine Guns is either saved for WrestleMania or it becomes a multi-team tag team match.
That's what I was thinking. In my head, from even before they put the belt on the Profits, I was thinking multi-team match.
Exactly. And I think they're going to save War Raiders and New Day for WrestleMania since the way the match broke down on Raw. So I think we'll probably see that announced. I think where you get what the rumor is that it's going to be a 14-match card, 7 matches on one night, 7 matches on the other, which is I think that's fair. You know, that's a couple more than we're usually used to on these single, premium live events. So over a 2-night span, I think that's just perfect. I think that's the sweet spot.
Yeah, because it was 5 at one point, and then they added maybe 2 more.
Exactly. And then Julia returned finally to NXT this past Tuesday, and kind of
everyone's surprised.
The beautiful madness looking a little on the bad side of things, which I dig. But and a fatal 4-way has been announced for Stand and Deliver. Between Stephanie Vakir, Jada Parker, Jordan Grace, and Julia for the NXT Women's title. And then we still have spots to be filled for the ladder match to crown a new NXT Women's North American champion, which I think is fantastic. And then, of course, we got some black excellence in the main event with Obafemi defending the NXT title against both Trick Williams and Javon Evans. I'm so in for that. I'm ready for that. And then we got a potential, was it a fatal 4-way match? I think, has it been announced already? Or I think it's going to end up happening because I know they're going to have a match to determine who will face Ricky Saints, but I think it's going to end up being a cluster mess. And then I think we're going to get a fatal 4-way for that title as well between Lexus King, Wesley, and Ethan Page.
Yeah, I think it's still sorting it out, I think.
Oh, speaking of Ethan Page, I forgot to mention Ethan Page returned to TNA, and he will be Unbreakable. It'll be Ethan Page challenging Joe Hendry for the TNA World Championship, along with who's the other person in the match with him? It's a triple threat, but I forgot who the hell the other person is. I'm drawing a blank right now for some reason. Oh God, who the hell is the other person in the match?
I forgot because he was talking trash to him the other day. I seen the clip.
Oh, God. I'm trying to figure it out now. I hate this. Why do I do this to myself? Oh, God. Hang on, wrestling fans. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it. Oh, God. me and T5 both scrolling for it. Oh, God. No, it's not even there yet. Damn it. Where is it? What is the main event? Seriously? Have you found it yet? Anybody in the chat room can help us out? Please? Anybody? Is anybody there? We got a little bit of dead air there. Please help me. Please help us. Man, what is the main event? I thought they announced it already. I thought I seen photos of it online. I'm trying to find it now. Damn it. What is the main event? Oh, yeah, I'm so dumb. I am so dumb. It is TNA Rebellion. That's the pay-per-view that's going to happen at. That's actually after WrestleMania. So here it is. I found it now. I'm so stupid.
Oh, yeah, no wonder I can't find it.
It's TNA Rebellion is the show that this match is happening at. It's Sunday, April 27th, the weekend after WrestleMania. TNA Rebellion. It will be for the TNA World Title, NXT's Ethan Page and Frankie the Future Kazarian.
Ah, yeah.
For the TNA title. Wow. What a stupid thing I just did.
I forgot because Kazarian was in the ring.
That's right.
When Ethan Page came back.
That's right.
And he called his shot.
Yeah, he did.
Ethan Page said he was gonna call his shot against Joe Hendry, and that's when Ethan Page came back and made a threat.
That's right. Okay, wow. Sorry, guys. So a little bit of misinformation there. So Unbreakable is happening WrestleMania week. Rebellion is the weekend after WrestleMania. So we'll clarify that later.
You put on a lot of shows, bruh.
Dude, I know. It's a lot to keep up with. So apologies, y'all, if we can't keep track of everything right now. It's a lot going on right now.
TNA puts out a lot of not B+ shows, but they got the A show and the B shows.
Exactly.
They got the A pay-per-views and the B pay-per-views.
Yeah, and
a lot of them B pay-per-views out in, like back to back.
Exactly, and it's very similar to like what NXT does because they'll put on like television specials named after premium
spring breaking and stuff.
Yeah. So apologies. Real quick before we call it a day today, I do want to give a shout out and share some love. R.I.P. Rest in peace to Kevin Castle of the Don, Tony, and Kevin Castle show. It is a for those out there who have listened to wrestling podcasts over the years, this is the podcast that actually got me into wrestling podcasts, that I wanted to be a part of something like this, that made me like, man, I could do this because of what these guys were doing. Kevin Castle, of course, very famously with Don Tony, had their own show Mondays after Raw every Monday night for God knows how long. I mean, they were one of the first shows to break the tragedy of Chris Benoit and his family, like in real time, like after the tribute episode happened all those years ago. I mean, like the legitimate story behind it, not, because WWE, of course, had that tribute show and didn't know the details until after the show had aired.
Right.
Kevin Castle were one of the first guys to talk about it live on a podcast right after the tribute show. And then he famously, Kevin Castle has been a part of Wrestling Soup over the years recently with Joey Numbers and Anthony Missionary Thomas and his brother John Draper, who's been a special guest on Wrestling Soup as well. Kevin Castle worked in the New York area as a booker and for many hardcore clubs, like hardcore rock clubs and bands. He would book them for their shows at these clubs. That's how he made a living. He was very much a animal rights advocate and used to do a lot of raising charity and awareness for like stray cats in particular were his cup of tea, because he was very much a big cat lover. He was just a really all around cool dude, man. I had a few interactions with him on Twitter. We followed each other on Twitter right now. Like he followed the IE Wrestling Show page, and I followed him, and we shared a few comments here and there over the years. Always been real cordial and cool with me. I never knew him on a personal level like that, but any interaction I had with him was always really nice. I mean, I have nothing but good things to say about Kevin Castle. Just like me and T5 don't agree on certain things in the wrestling world. Same with Kevin Castle. He had his opinions that I didn't agree with, and I'm sure he didn't agree with a lot of things I said. But there was that respect there, because we're wrestling fans, and wrestling is subjective, just like a lot of things, like comedy and things like that. I mean, comedy is subjective. What one comedian that T5 thinks is funny, I may not think is funny, and vice versa. So that's how Kevin Castle would always explain it whenever he was on a podcast. But he was always really cool, man. Just really down to earth. He seemed very sudden passing. But his brother John Draper talked about it on the tribute episode to Kevin on the last episode of Don, Tony, and Kevin Castle this past Monday on Spotify. I got to listen to it, and it was just he had been having some health issues over the last few weeks, and it just kind of all caught up to him, unfortunately. Very, very young. I think he was like 60, I think 63, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what it was said online. But just a big hit to the online wrestling community and the online podcasting world, in particular the wrestling podcast world. So I've been showing I've been seeing a lot of love sent Kevin Castle's way and his family. Kevin Castle was his stage name. Castle was just a nickname. That wasn't his real government last name. But it just sucks. It really sucks to see that very young passing away. I would say he will be missed, at least by the online community that appreciated his contributions to the podcast world. So I just wanted to say rest in peace to Kevin Castle, and show some love to Kevin Castle's family, and my prayers and condolences to his family and friends who knew him best. He will be missed, at least on our end of things. I don't know if you ever listened to any of their shows, Wrestling Soup.
I've heard of the show, and I heard of the name before, but I never really listened to it before. But rest in peace to Kevin Castle, and thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends and everybody that associated and knew him. So.
Yeah, very much big loss right there. But man, guys, I think we can call it a day, huh? Thank you, fans, for tuning in to our latest episode of the IE Wrestling Show. We've been doing our thing here for the last 2 hours and change. Well, thank y'all again. Please follow our pages. Subscribe at Who Is Fizzle and at _I page below show. Follow IE Wrestling on Contact. Check out all of our rawnutrition.com. Use that promo code IES for 10% off. Check out, of course, Deal the Deal Wax Deals, Vital Apparel. You can also use the promo code IESR. Get 10% off from their checkout screen as well. 10% off. And follow Planet Jerky on Instagram, on Facebook, of course, go to planetjerky.net and order yourself some Planet Jerky. And please follow IE Wrestling with IE Sports Radio on all of these platforms: Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Next, IESportsradio.com. On multiple platforms: Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Speakers, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Audible, Teaser. We're alive and in color on all those. And please do me a favor and check out the mydailybloom.com page for the IE Wrestling Show for Autism. Use the promo code IESWA for 50% off that checkout. It helps the show. It helps bring autism awareness during the month of Autism Awareness Month right here in the month of April. We'll be back next week with a big preview for WrestleMania and NXT Stand and Deliver. T5, you got anything to add before we sign off? All right,
Be good, everybody.
Check it out, guys. We'll be back next week.